Welcome to your hot to go stories you need to know on the go. I'm Brittany. We've got Khadijah in for Kendall and, of course, producer Mike. Let me tell you guys, firstborns, or in Mike's case, onlyborns.
Yep.
They get it all.
Facts.
I have 2 birth orders. I have thirdborn or baby or 6 of 7 because my mom remarried. So I get nothing.
Which one? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Also, there's let's just say my nuclear original 3. We also have a boy in the family. So automatic favorite is from my mom.
Yep.
Is the boy. It's just a fact.
The boys are hard to compete with.
I can't.
I'm an only, so I don't know.
You guys are both onlys.
Yay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
So you guys don't even know what it's like to go. I know that my sister Lindsay is going to get all the stuff. I don't mean because my mom dies, but literally my mom already sold one house and she gets all the stuff. And she should. She's more careful. She's a more reliable life.
Okay.
She's not moving as much. She's not as chaotic as me.
She had to put up with you your whole life.
She literally takes care of me. So firstborns. What I'm trying to say is Kim Kardashian is talking about which kid will inherit her $1.7 billion fortune.
That's it.
Right? Oh, it's crazy to think Kim Kardashian is worth $1.7 billion with a B.
That feels like enough money. My initial response was that's it. But then I was like, that's enough.
Here's the problem with billions.
Yeah.
I think we should almost have to convey how many million that is because billion feels like it gets lost.
Not to me.
We did find one of those comparisons. It's always fun to see, if you stack up this many $100 bills, this is $1 million, and then this much is $1 billion. Let me see if I can find some of those.
Even if we had to say 900 million plus 900 million, that's how much money she has. That sounds more than 1.7 billion. Okay,
that's true.
100 billion more.
Here's a good example for you. 1 million seconds is about 11.5 days. So 1 million seconds, roughly 11.5 days.
That's a nothing for me.
Well, hold on. 1 billion seconds
okay.
is 31 years and 8 months.
That's actually
that's a good one. That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
That's
the difference.
The first one I was like, that doesn't make me feel like million is that much. And then I realized what you're doing. And then I went, yeah, Mike usually is right. Mike usually knows how to convince us that numbers exist.
Converting 1 million seconds into days wasn't helping you at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
I go, that does nothing. I don't care. It's done nothing for me.
My.
But maybe I should have been paying attention more that there was going to be a compared to.
Yeah.
So 11 and a half days to 31 years. That's a big difference.
Well,
big difference.
That's a big difference. Okay, we get it, Kim. You're doing well.
And think about what the second kid is going to think when they read this article.
Well, they're not saying that she's going to...
Well, everybody's going to have something.
Everyone will be just fine.
Yeah.
But I will say this. One of the big things that came up with Kim Kardashian was she has this big old cushion cut 15 karat ring diamond. I don't even know what it's speculating $1.3 million. That was original pricing on it. Well, she's saying that she's still planning on gifting that to her eldest child, North.
Good for you, North.
North held the ring when she was just a few months old. Kim shared it to her Instagram page, making it more special that she plans on gifting it to her. Kanye gave her 2 engagement rings, this one being the obvious giant one. And then a second, never mind, which was an 8 million. What was the first one? Oh, yeah, 1.3 million. Who's getting that one?
Feels like the boy has to get one, right? To give to somebody?
Could you imagine lucking into that? There are times where I've got friends who goes, oh, we have to use his grandma's engagement ring. Kind of oh, great.
Yeah.
We'd be like, we got it. We get to use their wedding ring.
It's an impressive one, I'll tell you that.
So, yeah, we'll see. It's kind of funny to think about the idea that she's already declaring. I just imagine, because North gets everything, right? She's right now, and this happens with Blue Ivy as well. I feel like you'd have a little bit of, she gets so much because she's the first. But blue is also blue, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm glad we don't have all those things. It would just be too hard to figure out.
I know.
Yeah, so it's so true. The simple life is from
Love it.
what I've been forced into.
They say mo money, mo problems, and they mo right.
Could you imagine the burden to trying to figure out who you're going to give your billions of dollars to? No, thank you.
No, I kind of like where we're at. I think we're right. Okay, here is another thing I want to talk about. I can never. Is it Jonathan Cheban? How do we say his last name? Food God. Do you remember Food God, aka Jonathan, aka Kim Kardashian's bestie?
Oh, I do remember Jonathan.
Well,
when you said her bestie.
And it's kind of like what you're saying. So Kim Kardashian's one of her besties, she calls him Jonathan, and then he went to Instagram, and I think he actually legally changed his name to Food God. It got weird, but like LA people are weird, and they change their name like they're changing hair colors. It's really not that big of a deal to them. Like in LA, you could know somebody for 10 years and then find out they actually made that name up 11 years ago and you just met them at that time. Like, it's just so common.
Yeah. Also, his face is looking...
His face has also changed a lot, so you might not recognize him as well. Yeah, at this point, Jonathan looks like he's always on witness protection. So Jonathan... was saying that there's a lot of people that say that me and Kim aren't friends anymore. And it's really funny. We just don't post as much and I'm not on the show as much. But the reality of it, we're still very close.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's one of those things where that probably happens a lot with people that interact on this level where you're like, yeah, I kind of was sick of being on the show. Like, wouldn't that kind of be a vibe? You go, I was sick of that part of our lives. And now we actually have like a more honest friendship off the cameras.
Yeah.
I wonder, I would still love the camera though. I'd be like, I should show up once or twice.
Yeah. Like, can I come over for a glass of water?
Yeah, totally.
And I've opened up on the fact that I don't know a lot about the Kardashians. Didn't before I started this job. I've never experienced or heard a food god in my life.
Really?
I have no idea who this Jonathan Cheban is.
Really?
Never.
I'm not a big Kardashian watcher, but I even know who Jonathan is.
I'm seeing Celebrity Big Brother. I'm seeing Celebrity Family Feud with the Kardashians versus the West family, which, by the way, that actually happened.
And maybe he was like a stylist to start out, or
I think he was.
or cut hair or something.
Wild.
And he became, I hate to say it, sometimes people that are, this is very Midwest of me, sometimes people from LA are weird. And he's kind of been more and more LA. Like, I feel like he started off kind of relatable and like the gay bestie. And then he has an alter ego named Food God where I don't even know, does he do food stuff on his Instagram? I just remember him legally changing his name to Food God, and that was like a whole conversation. Yeah, I think, and my brother lived in LA for a while, and sometimes he'd come back saying the weirdest crap. And we'd be like, Jordan, stop. Like, he'd be the first one to be like, yeah, it's actually not very advantageous of you to get a yacht. In reality, the yacht tax. I'm like, what are you talking about?
And then you just shove a hot dish in his mouth to like pull him back.
Totally.
He's like, eat a tater tot.
And he got, oh God. And he definitely needed some freaking glucose in his system for sure. Carbs solve so many of those problems. Yes. I also thought it was really interesting. We're definitely still on the Kim Kardashian train. I'm so sorry. It was very Kim in the news vlogs today. Kim Kardashian talks about her size because this is something I really love. Have you ever bought anything from Skims?
No.
Okay. Even though I'm not supposed to love Skims, I secretly love Skims. It's my only betrayal ever. And if Taylor Swift ever messaged me and asked me to quit buying Skims, I'd say, fine.
Some of her besties endorse Skims. I think you're okay.
Okay. And like, I only buy like one thing a year because I'm poor. So what they do on Skims is they'll show you the model and they'll tell you the size they're wearing. And they'll show like 3 different sized models wearing that, which I love. Love that. Because sometimes, let's be honest, some sizes make every shirt look good.
Yeah.
And I would like to see something that's close to my own size.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always make the thing look good. and this conversation is more about how inconsistent sizing is than it is Kim Kardashian. There was a Daily Mail article that says Kim Kardashian lies about being a small or extra small because they sell a lot of their clothes online that they've worn in this website called the Kardashian Closet. Closet is with a K. I don't love it. It feels like we're 1K away from being problematic. Yes. So on their site, she sells a lot of her old stuff, and Daily Mail, being almost going through the trash of Kim Kardashian, is saying, actually, most of her high-end items are a medium or an 8. Oh. And Daily Mail, guess what?
The gas.
Daily Mail, have you ever been a woman buying clothes?
Like, no woman actually looked at Kim and was like, yeah, she's a small or extra small.
But even if I think she is. Like,
she's petite, but she's curvy.
But here's the thing. I don't think any woman can ever say what size they are because we have to be about 10 different sizes for the freaking inconsistency that are women's clothing.
Talk about it.
Like, I feel, of course she's an 8 in Dior. Like, who, what?
Right.
Like, like, of course, I'd be so scared to put, like, when you start going, especially in designer, like, Italian clothes.
Yep.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like shopping for a wedding dress.
Yeah.
Like I used to sell wedding dresses.
Oh, really?
And I would always have to talk the brides, like, off a ledge of, like, I know you told me you're a size 2.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, in wedding dresses, you're actually an 8 or whatever. It is such a difference. And I don't know who thought of that. Like, make the wedding dresses just, nobody wants to hear you're 4 sizes bigger in a wedding dress when you're thinking about your wedding. But
especially
that's a whole different
wedding. Like, and yes. I'm like, oh, that's got a spiral.
Yes. And there are people that are like, no, I'm for sure too. And it's like, that's going to hurt your feelings more if you force me to pull a 2.
Yeah.
And like, it's okay. Like, it's just a number. I don't know why they do that to us. But yeah, inconsistent sizing. I know exactly when to shop, what time of the month, how I'm feeling.
Yes.
If I had a girls' night out and it's like, I'm going shopping for dresses. Maybe I'm not, like.
Just kidding. Joke's on me.
Yeah.
And like, we know places to go that's going to make us feel kind of good about ourselves.
Yeah, it's going to make us feel like a little like, did I do something? Like Old Navy, for example.
Old Navy.
Old Navy is.
We're all our best selves at Old Navy.
Our best selves at Old Navy.
No.
I mean, honestly.
And then you go to a place like H&M or what's the one that's Forever 21? I'm not Forever 21. And I am also add a couple X's on that shirt.
Yeah. And then you just have designers that I feel like cut women's clothes really well, like Calvin Klein. I think that line of clothes and dresses, they're cut very well. I feel like it's like a true to size situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Kim, for bringing this to light. Once again, you are the advocate we all need.
Yes. She is our Daily Mail for actually going through her resale and going, she's not an XS. She's not a small. She's at least a 6. Hey, guess what, Daily Mail? Sometimes 6 is a small. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, Kim Kardashian, I bet you if we saw her in real life, she'd be tiny, tiny.
Yeah, I think she's pretty petite.
So we've got Justin Bieber. He's talking about mental health. Is Justin Bieber the most relatable? He's even talking about the idea of imposter syndrome. I don't know if he calls it that. But he posted one of those scary Instagram, white background, black writing. People told me my whole life, wow, Justin, you deserve that. And I personally have always felt unworthy, like I was a fraud. Like when people told me I deserved something, it made me feel sneaky, like, damn, if they only knew my thoughts, how judgmental I am, how selfish I really am. They wouldn't be saying this. I say all this to say, if you feel sneaky, welcome to the club. But like, also, I see you.
Also, I see you.
I also feel like a fraud in my own life, Justin.
A lot of the time. So he is relatable. And, this is just another story of a kid who got super famous, really young, had no rules, probably was around people that influenced him to do things that he probably didn't want to do, a lot of pressure. I remember taking my daughter to see Justin Bieber when he was like 12.
Wow.
And I was in awe of the show that he put on. Like, he was running around the stage, singing, dancing, playing the drums, played the guitar, serenading girls, making them cry. I mean, I was like, that is a lot for a 12-year-old to be doing.
Yeah.
Headlining a full concert until like 11 o'clock at night.
And the amount of people he's in charge of making sure that you know, if he does well, their careers do well, you know, his payroll. But I do ask this, Mike, do we think that Justin Bieber wrote this, or?
I hope so. The very next line, I'll just finish, because the very next line, I definitely feel unequipped and unqualified most days. We have nothing to prove today, just the gift of life today to accept and receive. Nothing is owed to us, and we don't owe anyone anything with a heart. Now, that is awesome. That is great. Have the last 2.5 weeks given us any belief or indication that he had anything to do with this post?
No.
And I hope he does. And I hope this is him opening up. And I hope this is him talking about his true feelings and maybe why he's acting out in the way he is. But there's no other way to put it than he's been like acting out.
Yeah.
Every time we bring up the fact that, hey, what's going on? And I'm not saying he doesn't have reason to. Trust me, he does, especially with his association with, you know, a lot of the big hot button things that are happening in Hollywood right now. Like, I get it. But at the same time, this feels like maybe they finally got control to his social media back again. And we're going to maybe pump the brakes a little bit on the acting out that he's been doing.
Because my first thought was, I mean, as somebody, we've had this show for 6-7 months. Every day I go, does anybody know what a fraud I am? Like, I think of that all the time. I go, wow, me and Justin Bieber, same person. We're out here going,
Same.
if they knew, I'm so this, I'm so that, I'm a monster, whatever. I mean, exactly same amount of fame. Exactly. But I then, Mike, unfortunately, because my obsession with Blinded by the Item, a podcast here at My Talk 107.1, where they go into the darkest, deepest parts of the web and find all of the secrets that celebs are trying to keep from you. I go, oh, I don't know if he wrote this.
Yeah, and we actually had a conversation earlier today on Blinded by the Item. You can check out the podcast. But about as somebody his age, and that, because we're all about roughly the same age, it's like, can you remove yourself from social media at that point? Because we see certain stars like Scarlett Johansson, who basically said recently, studios are trying to get me to be on social media. I will never be. It's just not for me. It's not something I want to do. And she's got the ability to say that at the level that she's at. And you just wonder, now I know Taylor Swift is the ultimate example. She's not posting everything she puts on social media. Like, she has people that are managing that, people that are doing that. And is that a situation where hopefully Justin can maybe have someone take over control of that, use social media the way that most celebrities should be using it, and not as his own personal, hey, look at me, I'm smoking another gigantic joint when you're worried about me having drug problems. You know, it's just, I don't know.
I'm so with you. I do feel like, and I've felt this coming for a while, this big social media pushback, like away from stuff. There is no reason he has to have it. Now, I just don't know if at this point it's part of his brain. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, it's almost, you can't not have, like, I don't know how much he's relying on it for his social interactions, all the things. But you're right. Like, he doesn't need to be on it. He doesn't, that his career will not make or break or change. Now, there's another conversation of social media has changed the landscape for the lack of we don't need as much paparazzi because celebs are out here posting their own photos and they're finding themselves a little bit of freedom from that as well. They're like, I'll give you the bikini pic. It'll be my pic. So you don't have to follow me around for 3 weeks, or I'll give you the baby pic. Just give it a second. So I don't know. But I'm with you. I think that he definitely needs to not be the one having the ins and out and being the one who's posting. He needs someone to manage that.
I think so. And who's ever posting it, maybe Justin or someone else. Amazing song choices on these posts.
What was the song choice? Tell me.
It's
Stevie
Wonder, Sir Duke. And I was like trying to think of what that song was, and I just read the lyrics and I was like, wow, standing O. That's good good pairing.
And then Gold Tiger, sneaky.
You know, it's the details that matter. And I'm just like, wow, did we need the music with the sentimental post? I'm not trying to turn this, but this is interesting.
But I do want to say this. Where are we at with that? Because sometimes I go to post a picture and it's like, do you want to add music? I don't really like listening to people's music while I look at their photos. Am I the only one, or do you guys like the ambiance?
It depends. If it really feels like it adds to the post, then I'm like, okay, this is great. Sometimes I feel like I feel forced to do it, and I'm just like, I could have posted this picture 6 hours ago if I wasn't searching this perfect song that doesn't exist.
What Lana Del Rey song would make sense for my baby announcement?
I'm telling you, it's like, how many songs are like, come on and get it. Come on, for my comedy shows, it's like, can you just give it a rest? Just post the flyer and move on.
But when we're scrolling, are we turning the music on? Because I rarely have my phone have any volume on.
I think it just depends on where I'm at. If I have my earbud in, things
So you want to enjoy other people's music with their post?
Yeah.
You found enjoyment out of that, Mike?
I think that adds a whole nother dimension to it. I could post a picture of me saying oh, things are, seemingly great. And you're flipping through oh, that looks great. Mike looks happy. And then the background, I had a bad day. Taking one time.
I would.
It's like taking subliminal messages to the ultimate high.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Mike.
Yeah.
First off, sorry. I don't get subtle messaging. If that happens, hopefully, because Kendall always notices weird things like that.
Sure.
I don't at all.
Got it.
You're going to have to tell me, hey, I can hear whatever. Unfortunately, I might miss that. But if I ever did see that, I got Sarah's number. We're checking on you, bro. Because you had a bad day. Everything's great. I love my life. So you had a bad day.
Turn the volume on. Turn the volume up.
Billie Eilish.
Brett.
Yes.
Billie Eilish, what was I made for? Put that bad boy with anything. I can literally post a picture of Go-Go in a park and... Yeah, that's not the vibe. That's some juxtaposition there. Speaking of mom life, Blake Lively wants to remind us she's just like us. She shares a mom hack from another Simple Favor shoot amid rumored tensions with co-star Anna Kendrick, a.k.a. she goes, here's if your kid forgets their shoes, but you have yours on, so naturally you've given them yours, then you mom hack. Paper bags for shoes. She's like, LOL, I'm just like you. I have been in situations where somehow a kid got into the car without shoes, and it actually has happened to me, I think, 4 to 5 times. So I will say this. You'd be surprised how often you find yourself in this sitch.
Mm-hmm.
The need for kids to just get in the car as is because they want to do something, and then you realize, and this was when I was a nanny, I'm like, what do you mean, Ethan, you don't have any shoes? We're about to go into Whole Foods.
Grab a paper bag.
I guess he's getting my shoes, and then I'm putting on paper bags on my feet, which again, Blake Lively.
What is she doing?
You're not like us, because I would be immediately kicked out of the establishment.
Yeah.
So I don't think this mom hack is as relatable as she's seeming. What, Mike?
We do have reason to give you a little bit of update with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni because she got a big win. You may remember the last time we heard about this case, it was over confidentiality about what information can and can't be shared. And Blake Lively cited some of her A-list friends, Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, and basically said, hey, we need to make a determination on this suit. The judge needs to grant a request to limit the disclosure of sensitive information around this case to be for attorneys' eyes only. That was where we left it, and Blake Lively has won that confidentiality order. So the federal judge did grant that order to her and her side. So again, we might not be getting as much from the other side.
And it's perfect timing because we needed a break from them.
We did. We
Thanks,
really
Mike.
did.
Thanks for that update.
Yeah, just kind of broke earlier today.
Thank you.